choice. It's your choice. Yastafi comes from safu. And safu in Arabic, or safwa, means purity. A choice that is purely your own. What Allah is saying is when He decided that Jibreel alayhi salam should be Allah's messenger, and when He decided that Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will be Allah's messenger, whose decision was that? Allah's decision. And you have no right to ask why Him. You have no right to ask why Jibreel. You have no right to ask why Muhammad. Who are you? Who are you? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Who are you to ask? It is Allah who gets to make that choice, and only Him. And no one else has a say in that choice. This is why Allah says, Allahu yastafi min al-malaikati rusulan wa bihi. Now, this is important for us to know because in all other philosophies, people who believe in other philosophies and try to find peace in other philosophies, you know what question they ask? Why? Why would God pick Muhammad anyway? Why would He pick him? What's so special about him? There are so many other people to pick. Even the people of Makkah asked that question. You know that? It's in the Quran. Why? How come this Quran didn't come down? عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. How come this Quran did not come down on a famous man in Makkah? Or Makkah or Taif at least? Because if it came down on a millionaire, we already have respect for millionaires. If a millionaire became a prophet, we'd listen to him easily. Because we're already used to listening to him. How come he picked an orphan? How come he picked someone who's originally employed by his soon-to-be wife? Why him? Why not somebody more politically powerful, more economically powerful? They ask that question. Allah responds, Allahu yastafi. In other words, we don't have to explain to anyone why Rasulullah was picked. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The answer to that is Allah picked him. That's it. That's it. That is the reason. That's the explanation in the Quran for why Muhammad Rasulullah was picked. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But as he says this, Allah Azza wa Jalla turns His attention to us. I'm skipping a little bit because I want to get to that last ayah. Hopefully I can discuss the entire ayah with you, some lessons from that last ayah, which is the most powerful ayah of this entire surah. Possibly even the crux of the entire surah, Surah Al-Hajj. Allah Azza wa Jalla turns His attention to us, the Ummah. He says to us, وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ. وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ. I'm going to give you an example. Please listen to the example carefully so that you can understand what's being said here. If I was to hire you for a job, I'm going to hire you for a job. Maybe the job is programming, and you don't know any programming. You apply for the job. Anyway, technical skills, Google, and Gmail or whatever. And I call you for an interview. And in the interview I tell you, well, for this job you need 10 years of programming experience, and you need team management experience, and you need to know these languages. And I list the requirements for 20 minutes. I'm looking at your resume, which says, what is your technical skill? Google. And I'm listing all of these technical requirements. Is it already obvious to me that you're not qualified? Yeah, is it obvious to you that you're not qualified? It is. But for 20 minutes you're sitting there going, when is this embarrassment going to stop? Can I just go home and cry now? Can I just leave? When I don't stop, I keep giving you requirement after requirement after requirement, and every time I describe one of the job requirements, you realize this is not for me. Oh, this is really not for me. Oh my God, this will never be for me. I am so unqualified for this. I don't think I can even work as a janitor in this building. This is how bad things are right now. At the end of all of those requirements, I turn to you and I say, congratulations, you've got the job, you start tomorrow. Wouldn't you be confused? Like, are you sure you're looking at the right resume? Because I know pretty well that I am not what? Qualified. I'm not qualified, so I don't see why you would pick me for this impossible job. You with me so far? Now let's go to the ayah. وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ. You need to struggle for the sake of Allah with no goal before you except Allah. See, Allah is so emphasized at the end of Surah Al-Hajj that Allah did not even say وَجَاهِدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. He simply said وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ. Even the word sabil has no room in this passage because they didn't appreciate Allah before, right? So it goes directly to Allah Azza wa Jalla. You will struggle with no goal before you except Allah. as is worthy of the struggle. Hold on a second. Do I pray to Allah like He deserves it? No. Do I thank or do you thank Allah like He deserves it? Do you and I remember Allah like He deserves it? Do you and I thank Allah like He deserves it? Do you and I obey Allah like He deserves it? Is any of that true? No. He says, do jihad, struggle as much as you can for Allah as He deserves it. Haqqa jihadi, as is worthy of Him. I mean, it shows that you're truly struggling for Allah. True to the standards. Is that even possible? Ask yourself the question, is it possible to do justice to struggling for Allah? It's impossible. So the beginning, when the job description is given in this ayah, it is an impossible job description. You guys with me so far? Which means, because of this job description, you and I are absolutely unqualified for this job. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Then he says, وَاجْتَبَاكُمْ. He selected you. He's the one, in fact, He selected you. And He didn't just say ijtabakum, He said huwajtabakum, which suggests no one had a hand in you saying La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam except Allah. You are not Muslim because you were born in a Muslim family. You are not Muslim because you are Turkish, or you're Lebanese, or you're Pakistani, or you're Bangladeshi. You are not Muslim for that reason. You are Muslim because Allah Himself chose that you should be Muslim. That's the reason. And Allah first gave me an impossible job description. Nobody can do it. Then He says, yes, there are some people who can do it. You are from them. SubhanAllah. Now I'm looking at that and saying, I don't think I'm qualified. Allah must see some qualifications in me I don't even see in myself. Think about the word ijtiba, huwajtabakum. The word jabu in Arabic is used for tax collection. You know, tax is not collected from everyone. Tax is collected from people who are qualified in a certain income bracket. When you make a certain amount of money, then you owe taxes. If you don't make that much money, then you're not qualified to pay the taxes. You are under the tax bracket. You understand? Now, jabu ijtiba means when you select something for a particular qualification. I'll give you a simple example for that too. You know how there are two kinds of screwdrivers, like a flat and a Phillips screwdriver? If you have a screw that you need to tighten and it's flat, then you have to pick the flat screwdriver. Isn't that the case? So you have to pick the right tool for the right job. When you look at all your tools and you pick the right tool for the right job, then you are doing the act of ijtiba. You're picking the right thing for the right task. Allah used that word for you. Allah used that word for you. Allah says to me and you that there's a task, there's a mission, there's a job. The job is some people have to struggle with nothing before them except Allah. As is worthy of that struggle. That is an impossible job. Some people are right for that job. Some people are the right tools for this mission, and you are those people. Whether you realize it or not, Allah sees in you what you don't even see in yourself. No member of this ummah is worth it. Not according to Allah. No member of this ummah is not worthy of struggling for Allah. Not according to Allah. Every single one of you is selected accurately by Allah. There is a majority of people on this earth who don't say La ilaha illallah, who did not qualify, but for some reason you qualified. You qualified. This is something big, guys. This is not something small. You know, in the previous ayat, Allah told us how He picks prophets. Remember that? And now Allah is saying Allah doesn't just pick prophets. Allah picks Muslims too. He picks every single Muslim. He decides. Now let's go, before I go to the rest of the ayah, listen to me again carefully. When you get a job, is it possible that you get fired? Is that possible? Okay. Why does someone get fired? When they don't do the work. If you are qualified to do the work, your resume says, according to Allah, your resume says you can do it. You're good. You got the job. Congratulations. Isn't that an honor? That's an honor. But just because you have a job doesn't mean you're going to do it, especially if you're from Pakistan. No, I'm kidding. Look, you're sitting in the office. Your job description is accountant or whatever. You're sitting in, sorry accountant, sorry. But that doesn't mean you're doing work. Isn't that the case? And if you're not doing work, now there are some bosses who don't know whether you're doing work or not. Some bosses you can keep the same job like you're working at the post office for 40 years, and nobody knows, nobody cares. It's a government job, so it's okay. You're on vacation for 40 years, it's fine. But there are some jobs in which the boss checks on you every 5 minutes. And if you get lazy in that kind of job, what's going to happen? You're going to get fired. Now you tell me, the job that we've just been given, who hired us?
Allah.
Allah did. Is He watching?
Yes.
Every second?
Yeah.
So if we're not doing our job, He knows about it? Yes. And if somebody doesn't do their job, can they get fired? Yes. So Allah says openly in the Quran, He says openly, without hesitation, إِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُمْ. If you turn away, then He will replace you with another group that is other than you. They are not like you, and they are not going to be anything like your examples. Meaning they're not going to be, I'll use the Urdu, they're not going to be nikamme like you. They're not going to be losers like you. They're not going to be the likes of you. I'll pick the right people for the job. I gave you the job, you were qualified, you just got lazy. What's the matter with you people? You didn't do your job. Now come back to this ayah. Who selected you? Now, I realize this job is very difficult. It's not an easy job. So even though I qualified for that programming job according to my boss, I hired you. I said, congratulations, you start tomorrow. You're still nervous. I tell you, listen, son, I've done this many years. You will learn in no time. I know talent when I see it. I see in you what you don't even see in yourself. So what does Allah do in the next part of the same ayah? It's all one ayah. He says, وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. He didn't put any difficulty, any discomfort in the deen for you whatsoever. In other words, even though you have the hardest job ever, it is not going to be difficult for you at all. And Allah is the one who will remove the difficulty in this job. Now Allah Himself is calming me down and telling me, even though you have a really hard job, Allah's task is to make it what? Easy for you. There's not going to be any discomfort, any difficulty for you at all in this job. So now I can relax a little bit. Okay. Allah's going to make it easy. Things are going to be fine. The next wording He says is, مِلَّةَ أَبِيكُمْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. You are the continuity of the legacy of your father Ibrahim alayhi salam. What kinds of things did Ibrahim alayhi salam have to do? Can you think of any of the things Ibrahim alayhi salam had to do? Oh yeah, he had to take a knife and put it on his son's neck? That must have been really easy. What else? Oh yeah, you had to jump into a massive fire. And even birds couldn't fly over, they used to fall into the fire. And he used to go right into that fire. That must have been really easy, actually. Oh, there was this one thing where you had to go on a road trip with his family with no air conditioning in Saudi Arabia and leave there, and it wasn't Saudi then, by the way. It was just Arabia. And then he takes them all the way in the middle of the desert. What does he do with the baby and the mom? Okay, have you ever left your wife and baby in an airport? Or a mall that you're late to pick them up from the store? Or late to pick them up from the school? Or from the arrivals terminal at the airport? You're so late, 45 minutes. We were sitting there in an air-conditioned hall. It was terrible. Where does he have to leave them? In the middle of death. In the middle of death. And he has to walk away from his baby child. He has to walk away from his wife. Does any of that sound easy? Allah just told me and you that what He has given us is difficult, but He will make it what? Easy. Next He told us, by the way, you're going to be doing similar things to who? Which is easy or hard? It's hard. But Allah is telling us, first of all, if Allah can make those impossible situations easy for Ibrahim, if Allah can do that for Ibrahim alayhi salam, then you have nothing to worry about. Ibrahim alayhi salam will be a reminder to you and me that no matter how hard things are, Allah can make them easy. Allah can make any fire cool. Allah can make any knife refuse to cut. Allah can bring water out of a desert. He can bring rizq out of nothing. Allah, if you have rizq problems, remember the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when there's a rizq problem. When you're in danger, remember the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he's about to be thrown into a fire. When you're fearful for your family and their well-being, remember what he had to do for his. You know? When your children are going through difficulty, remember how Allah tested Ibrahim his own child. So you're going to remember him, and it'll become easy for you. Because you're not the first one. It is, like one famous writer wrote, that in this ayah, it's as though, imagine that you and I are on a train. You know how a train has multiple cars? And the carts that are in front, who's riding in those carts? The prophets, like Ibrahim alayhi salam. And you're on the same train. You're just in the cart further back, but you're on the same train. SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. So this idea that we've now been put in the same struggle as those who came before us, the prophets. This honor has been given to us in this ayah. مِلَّةَ أَبِيكُمْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ هُوَ سَمَّاكُمُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. He, in fact, is the one who named you Muslims, which has two opinions. It is either Ibrahim alayhi salam who named us Muslims, like the dua, وَجَعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ, make us Muslims for you. Or it's Allah who named us Muslim. Either way, it's the same, because even if Ibrahim alayhi salam named us, it's by Wahi he named us. So this name, this honor of being able to call yourself Muslim is being told to us in this ayah, وَسَمَّاكُمُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. You know why that's important for you and me? According to this ayah, it is a matter of faith. It's a matter of my iman, that I feel honored, not embarrassed to be a Muslim. I'm honored to be a Muslim. I'm not afraid. I'm not going to hide my Islam from people because I don't fit in if I let them know that I'm Muslim. Actually, I'm not supposed to fit in because what I have is superior to everything else. If it fit in with everything else, it wouldn't be superior. The fact that you and I don't fit in is not a problem. It's a gift from Allah. That's a gift from Allah. Don't lose that gift. We're not supposed to fit in. Which prophet ever fit in? Which prophet ever fit in? Tell me. They always stuck out, didn't they? And people said, why are you people so different? Why is the Prophet telling us, congratulations to those who are strange, who don't fit in. We are going to be weird forever to the rest of humanity. We are. And it's an honor. It's an honor. And it's actually, now interestingly enough, they say that people that are socially awkward, they did the study of highly successful people in business and science, and they discovered that pretty much all of them were socially awkward. Something about being strange and being highly successful. Allah Azza wa Jalla did not teach us, give us this deen so we can follow blindly what other people do. Allah gave us much better people to follow. And the people that we follow were always considered different by their societies. So we should have no worries about being different. We should have no concern about people will look at us differently, think about us differently. They're not going to see themselves as equal to us or us as equal to them. You're not there to impress anyone. And you're not there. Once you have the love of Allah and the want of pleasing Allah inside you, you stop caring about pleasing people. You don't care about that anymore. It doesn't matter to you anymore. It's so liberating. So now Allah at the end, this ayah is still not done. We're almost there. At the end of this ayah, Allah Azza wa Jalla is now, after giving us pride in being Muslims, how do you hold on to that sense of identity? He says, هُوَ سَمَّاكُمُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَفِي هَذَا. Much before He named you Muslim, and even in this day and age, He has named you Muslim. In other words, Allah is telling us, even now, the fact that you are being called Muslim in 2014, this is also from Allah. Like you calling yourself Muslim is directly from Allah. It's not something you being shy from calling yourself a Muslim or declaring your Islam is you denying a direct gift from Allah to you. Direct gift. Let me tell you something on the side that's really interesting. The Jews, they don't have the word Judaism in the entire Old Testament, or the Torah. The word Judaism is not mentioned. They call themselves Jewish, but according to the Quran, interestingly enough, the Jews, the other name of them is the sons of Israel. You guys know this, right? The children of Israel. Which the Arabic term is what? You guys know the Arabic term? Israel. Israel is the nickname for Yaqub alayhi salam. Yaqub alayhi salam has two names. One is Yaqub and the other is Israel. So it's actually Bani Yaqub. Bani Israel, Bani Yaqub is the same thing. Now Yaqub alayhi salam had how many sons? He had 12 sons. In Surah Al-Baqarah, and by the way, these 12 sons are the original Bani Israel. Like the word Bani Israel is used for those 12 sons of Yaqub alayhi salam. That's who we're talking about. And everybody else who's from Bani Israel is their descendants. Isn't that the case? Now, Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah is telling us about those 12 sons. And he says, Yaqub alayhi salam is about to die. أَمْ كُنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءَ إِذْ حَضَرَ يَعْقُوبَ الْمَوْتِ. Were you around when death came to Yaqub? When he called his children, إِذْ قَالَ لِبَنِيهِ. Who are his children? The sons of Israel. He, at his deathbed, his children are all around him, and he asks them, what are you going to worship after I'm gone? And they say, نَعْبُدُ إِلَهَكَ. We will worship your God, of course. وَإِلَهَ أَبَائِكَ. And we'll worship the God of your ancestors. Ibrahim, wa Ismail, wa Ishaq. Now what did they say? Ibrahim, and then what? Ismail, and then Ishaq. That's interesting, because they went in age order. So according to them, Ibrahim is of course the grandfather, the oldest. Then their uncle, which is Ismail, the older one. Then their own grandfather, Ishaq, the great-grandfather's uncle, granduncle, and then their grandfather. In other words, Bani Israel thought that Ismail alayhi salam is a legitimate son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. You know, Jews nowadays believe that Ishmael is an illegitimate son.
Yes.
Right? And they accuse him of not being worthy of the honor of prophethood. And the original sons of Bani Israel, in their own words, who did they honor even before they honored their own grandfather? Ishaq. Who did they honor first? Ismail alayhi salam. But that's not even enough. They said, ilahan wahidan. All of them worship the one and the same God. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. And we are Muslims in front of him. We're Muslims for him. Bani Israel used to call themselves what? Muslim. This name is not new. This name is not offensive. If the members of Bani Israel today find the word Muslim offensive, they should learn the lesson from their own fathers. They have forgotten their own name. Their own original name was Muslims. When they lost Islam, they lost the name. When they lost the teachings of Islam, they lost that name. And they erased it from their books. They have it no longer. SubhanAllah. Quran tells us that this was the name originally of the original sons of Israel. They were the Muslims of the time. They declared themselves Muslims. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. So مِنْ قَبْلُ وَفِي هَذَا. So don't think, when the especially in the United States, they preach this idea that, Islam is an Arab religion, and these Arabs call themselves Muslims and all of this. Please. Every prophet preached Islam, and especially the children of Israel. And from there, further down the line, even though he's not from their descendants technically, because he doesn't have a father, even Isa alayhi salam. Islam, constantly. Actually, the followers of Isa alayhi salam, from the Jews we have the example, they used to call themselves Muslim. From the Christian side, the Hawariyun of Isa alayhi salam, the followers of Isa alayhi salam, what did they say? وَاشْهَدْ بِأَنَّا مُسْلِمُونَ. They told Isa alayhi salam, you be witness that we're Muslim. The original followers of Jesus called themselves what? Muslim. We are calling ourselves Muslim. We are more original to the teachings of Musa alayhi salam, and Isa alayhi salam, and Ishaq alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam, Yaqub, Israel himself. We are more original to the teachings that those people brought, those prophets brought, than the people who claim to follow them. We have more right to that name. This is why the word Muslim is an honor. And the people who left it have disgraced themselves. That's actually a taking away of an honor from them, that they don't get to have the gift of the name Muslim. Don't underestimate the value of the name Muslim. It is a very powerful title, and Allah gives it to very special people. And so if He's given you that title, don't underestimate it. So He says, فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. This is called fa sababiyya. Therefore, now that you have been honored as Muslims, therefore establish salah and give zakah. Therefore, establish salah and give zakah. Now what in the world does that mean? That means the fact that you have been honored as Muslims, that honor should result in something. What's the first thing it results in? Salat. So if you don't consider salat seriously, then you haven't honored your Islam. You haven't really understood what it means to be a Muslim. It's that big of a deal. And then he didn't just stop at salah. What else did he say? وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. What does that mean? Give what? Give the obligatory charity. The term zakat is used for your money that you earn from halal means, which is still haram on you until you purify it by giving zakat. Yes? Now by saying atu zakat, Allah did something else. Allah made sure that every single Muslim who considers himself Muslim and is honored by the word Muslim will only earn money through halal means, because you cannot give zakat on haram money. You can't. So it's not just about the charity that you give, but now the way you earn your money has to be legitimate. And that is directly tied to the fact that you are Muslim. So if you are Muslim and you pray, but you don't care about the fact that your money is coming from beer, you don't care about the fact that your money is coming from gambling, you don't care about the fact that your money is coming from filthy magazines, it's coming from haram, clearly haram sources, you don't care, then actually you don't care about honoring the term Muslim. It's directly tied. It's directly tied in this one ayah. It's all still one ayah. فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. Then he says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ. And hold on tight for dear life. Al-i'tisam is from isma. Isma means protection. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ. Hold on for protection. Hold on to Allah. Hold on to Allah. Don't let go of Allah. How do you hold on to Allah? How in the world is that possible? The explanation of that comes in Ali Imran, and Allah says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبِّ اللَّهِ. Hold on to Allah's rope. You know, if someone, let me give you an example, if someone falls off a ship, you know how the ship has an anchor? If you're holding on to the anchor, it is pretty much the same as you holding on to the ship. If you let go of the anchor, you have basically let go of the ship. Because if you have the anchor can pull you up to the ship. Allah Azza wa Jalla describes, tells us we have to hold on to His rope. One end of that rope is with us, the other end of the rope is with who? Allah. Well, so long as you hold on to this rope, He will pull you up towards Himself. What is that rope? It's the Quran. It's the Quran. When the Muslims take the Quran seriously, then we will not lose these ideas. The stuff I'm sharing with you will not be new information. It will just be a reminder, because you're already learning it on your own. Because you're holding on to the Quran. And by the way, when you hold on to when you hold something like khudul Quran, khudul Quran, grab the Quran, hold the Quran. Not enough. Like Allah told Banu Israel, khudhu ma ataynakum biquwa. But He doesn't say, i'tasimu bima ataynakum bihi. He didn't say that to them. He said that to us. Hold on to it for protection. Now imagine, if you are holding on to an anchor from a ship, is there a time where you can say, well, you know, I've been holding on for 2 hours. Take a break. And just kind of... If you're holding on for life, then letting go means what? Death. Letting go means death. So when Allah is telling us to hold on to the Quran, then we have to understand it as a matter of survival. This is not just something I do in my extra time. According to this ayah, if you are going to meet this job description, then you have to hold on to this Quran like you're holding on to something for survival. Like this is your lifeline. You know how like some people are on a respirator and you take it off and they can die? Like this is your respirator. The Quran's your respirator. You're holding on. That's it. You let go and you're spiritually dead. You're off this job. This is why the complaint comes from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Surah Al-Quran. وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ يَا رَبِّ إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. The messenger will say on Judgment Day, this nation of mine, they took the Quran and they abandoned it. They left it. They left it. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ. By the way, when you hold on to this rope, who are you connected with directly?
Allah.
Okay, when you're connected with Allah, then watch what happens next. فَنِعْمَ الْمَوْلَى وَنِعْمَ النَّصِيرُ. Then what an incredible protector He is. Because when you're holding on to Him, then you don't need to protect yourself. It is Allah who's protecting you. And you don't need to get help from anywhere else, because Allah is your aid. In other words, what the Muslim gets when they hold on to the Quran is they get the kind of connection, powerful, you know some people say, I got powerful connection? Right? That's literally what they get. They get a powerful connection. More powerful than anything else. And it makes them never feel weak again. It doesn't matter what situation they are in this world, militarily, economically, politically, it doesn't matter. They are never going to be weak. They are never going to be weak. I'll leave you with this example, inshallah ta'ala. I don't want to take too many questions, because questions are confusing for me. But I will give you just one example of this remarkable reality. Allah Azza wa Jalla in Surah As-Saff, He talks about Isa alayhi salam and his followers. If you don't know much about the history of Isa alayhi salam and his followers, the gist of it is, and by the end of the struggle, the Romans were able to be coaxed by the Jews of the time to kill Jesus, to kill Isa alayhi salam. Obviously, they failed in doing so, and Allah Azza wa Jalla raised him towards himself. رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. Right? So Allah raised him towards himself. But the people, the few believers of Isa alayhi salam did not have political authority, because who had political authority?
Romans.
The Romans had political authority, and they had given extensive authority to the Jews, who by majority, the Israelites, they rejected Isa alayhi salam. فَآمَنَتْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّن بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ وَكَفَرَتْ طَائِفَةٌ. And historically, now the historical facts are the vast majority didn't believe. And as a matter of fact, the followers of Isa alayhi salam were so few, they were considered a small minority, and in most cases they were persecuted. And what became eventually Christianity made a resurgence much later. Well, how does Allah describe it? Allah says, فَأَيَّدْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا عَلَىٰ عَدُوِّهِمْ فَأَصْبَحُوا ظَاهِرِينَ. It's different from the history. Listen carefully. He says, we aided those who believed against their enemies, and they became dominant. The believers became dominant. Who are the believers in this ayah? The followers of who? Isa alayhi salam. Historically speaking, they never gained power. Historically speaking, the Romans retained power. And actually, the followers of Isa alayhi salam, the ones on Tawheed, did not ever gain power. Eventually, when Christianity was converted, or Islam was converted into Christianity, and Tawheed and the Trinity was added, all this other stuff, then they came to power. But the people who actually believed in Allah, who believed in Tawheed, they didn't come to power. And yet Allah says they became dominant. What in the world does that mean? That Allah's definition of domination, Allah's definition of power, Allah's definition of help is different from your definition and my definition. We think of power and help and victory when we watch the news. That is not Allah's definition of victory. Allah has a much more profound, much deeper definition of victory. If somebody dies with Iman, they are victorious. If somebody dies with Iman, and they did not trade, they did not sell their Iman for anything else, they have mafaz, they have the ultimate success. This is why even, inshallah, maybe another time I'll share this part, even in Surah Al-Fath, which is literally called the surah of what? Victory. This is the surah that defines victory for Muslims. If you're looking for the Qur'an's definition of what does it mean to have victory, Surah Al-Fath. Study it exhaustively. By the end of that surah, what does Allah describe? That the greatest victory of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are the Sahaba. The greatest victory are who? The Sahaba. Wow. Why are the Sahaba the greatest victory? Because these people will die, but they will not give up their Iman. These people will do anything, but they will not compromise the allegiance to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Actually, Makkah had not yet been conquered. It's strange that Surah Al-Fath came and Makkah hasn't even been conquered yet.